Aging room. Quattro, Nicaragua, in Torpedo. Yeah, right on again, this is Cigar vlog. Also, it is like stupidly windy right now. And I didn't think I was going to be doing this, but we're getting at the time of year where everything is turning brown and flying off the trees. So, anyway. Quattro, Nicaragua. I don't really know a whole lot about this, but the fact that they're selling the Nicaragua thing tells me this is probably the Puro version, as in like all Nicaraguan tobacco. And that's kind of what their shtick is for this particular stick. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this cut up. Honestly, do I actually care if it's from Nicaragua? Not really. I just care how it tastes. And this is always the universal conundrum, capoter. Tripping capote. Sorry, I'm tripping over my own tongue. One of the universal problems with a torpedo is figuring out exactly how far down to cut, because if you cut down too far, it unravels. So hopefully I did not screw that up. I'm going to go ahead and yank this, because by now you already know it's in Nicaragua. And I apologize for wind noise that may come up. I can't really do anything about that, sorry. Right off the light, smells good. I'm being assaulted by tree leaves. So right off the bat, a lot of wind. But overall, clean tobacco. Not a whole lot of spice, a little bit of pepperiness, a little spiciness. A little coffee note. I'm gonna say coffee. Maybe a leathery note? Well, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this down to the first inch and see if it wakes up. Okay. Once again, back out in the old field next to the friendly tree, because this is probably the only place I could find that didn't have crap tons of wind. Anyway, first inch is definitely getting a little spicy. I went ahead and yanked the band because it was like super loose on there, so rather than risk having the cigar just slide completely out of that, I just went ahead and yanked it. So not really a whole lot in the retro heel just yet. Otherwise, mouth. Like, again, spicy, green tobacco. I want to say a little leathery, a little bit of coffee. Maybe. It's going to take me a little bit to actually sort out exactly what's going on here. But anyway, construction is very nice. The only issue here is that if I had the option to choose what size I would have gotten it in, I probably would not have gotten a torpedo. But hopefully that won't be an issue. Ooh, that's got some spice to it. I mean, it's kind of like a picante spice, you know? That's pretty much the overarching flavor I'm getting out of it right now. So anyway, I'm going to get this down to the halfway point, and hopefully some of the other flavors, other than just spice, will end up becoming a little more prominent. Okay, well, the ash juice decided to flop. So I figure this is as good a time as any for a little bit of an update here. Spiciness is kind of dying down a little bit, which is good. But I'm still having some trouble picking out some solid flavors, you know? Because there's actually a couple of different flavors going on. There's an almost leathery note. I want to say either a coffee-ish note or a really dark chocolate. kind of a dark cocoa, I think. I'm gonna go with that. Burn on, and the burn on it so far has been actually really, really nice, even with my screwed up lights. But yeah, so far it's been performing very nicely, and the flavors are definitely there. And it's kind of those situations where they're blended to the point where you're really going to have to be keyed in to pick out anything specific, because everything kind of meshes really, really nicely. I want to say perhaps a little too nicely. Yeah, the spice died down after the first inch. Retrohale is just kind of a carbon copy of what you get in the mouth. There's a couple different things going on in here. I want to say that the big three flavors I'm getting, that I'm kind of, you know, meshing with, kind of a little leather, a little cocoa, a little coffee. When I say cocoa, I mean dark, dark cocoa, like, you know, the 86% cocoa. Anyway, excuse me. Anyway, I'm going to keep spunking this down and see if anything really wakes up and stands out. Well, get down to the nub here. Get to the point where flavors start to wash out. Okay, so I think I've kind of nailed down most of what's going on in this cigar. For starters, after the halfway point, Retrohale ended up getting a very pronounced chocolate, like dark chocolate note, which is quite nice. Subtly sweet too. The overall flavor in the mouth, though, there's a lot going on here. There is a spiciness that it starts off real spicy and then that mellows down. The spice lingers throughout the whole stick, though, but it starts off a little spicy. Then you get a very earthy, almost leathery note, a dark coffee, and a real dark chocolate. So far, it's really striking me on the same profile that you get with like a really like hops heavy ale, you know, like a solid stout. So that's actually one of my suggestions for drink pairings. With a good espresso, a good stout, and or either a very smoky or peat heavy scotch. So far, yeah, definitely very interesting. Kind of takes a little bit to actually pin down exactly what you get. And this is kind of one of those things where I think everybody's going to have a little bit something different out of this, just due to how everybody's tongue is keyed. But yeah, basically I just know it's spicy, earthy, coffee, dark, dark cocoa, and that kind of hoppy ale bitterness that's refreshing as opposed to just blech, you know. Yeah, so far definitely worth it. So if you check these out, I don't know what the actual price point on them is, but if the price isn't too bad, go for a box or maybe a 5-pack. Definitely check them out. Anyway, not much else to say about this other than I'm going to smoke this down to the point where I burn my fingers, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Definitely worth it. Well, anyway, if you like this review or any of the review, like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know if you had a different experience. Other than that, check out my Twitch stream. Sunday to Friday nights, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. Recorded for a little while afterwards. There's always somebody with a loud-ass motorcycle. I don't know why. Well, anyway, that's all I got for this one. I'll see you next time.